Hi boys and girls. I'm going to do a video with you today for our first lesson that we're going to have in chapter 17, which is multiplying by 1, 2, and 3-digit factors. This is really cool. I think you're going to have a lot of fun learning this. I need you right now to go ahead and turn in your book to page 283, which is lesson 142. As I mentioned on your assignment on LMS, we're going to skip a couple of lessons in this chapter simply because the way it's presented in the book I feel like could be a little more confusing than I want it to be for you and your parents. So that's why even today we're going to start with lesson 142 instead of lesson 141. You always have the free opportunity to do those lessons that we skip with your family if you'd like to. That's totally up to you. I just want to only do the lessons that keep it as simple as possible so that you will not be confused. So let's look at lesson 142, as I mentioned on page 283, and we're going to look at number 1. And number 1 has it written down 12 plus 12 plus 12. We're going to start with that first. That's just simple addition, starting in the ones place with 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 2 equals 6. Okay? Then going to the tens place, 1 plus 1 equals 2, plus 1 equals 3. Well, if you'll notice right next to that in your book, they have a problem that says 12 times 3. Okay? And this is something new that we have only done just a little bit of before we went out of school to do online school. But this chapter, we're going to be digging into it a lot deeper. And what I want you to always remember with multiplication in 2-digit or 3-digit numbers is you're always going to start in the ones place, just like we do with addition or any other subtraction, anything, we're going to start in the ones place, okay? And here we have 12 being added 3 times. That's why they're showing you that the same thing as 12 plus 12 plus 12 is 12 times 3. It's the same as adding it 3 different times. But we're going to do a quicker way. This is why I love multiplication, because it's so much quicker. And when we start in the ones place, when you're multiplying 2 digits, we want to actually multiply up. 3 times 2, all right? 3 times 2, everybody, is 6, okay? The really different part about multiplication when you get into the time multiplying times 2 and 3 digits is now we're going to take this 3 and now we're going to cross multiply with that 1, okay? So 3 times 1 equals 3. So your answer, 36, is the same as adding 12 plus 12 plus 12 together, all right? But the main thing we're going to be doing in this chapter is really kind of retraining our brain and putting a new groove in of a new order of how you figure out the problem. So let me erase that one, number 1. Try to follow along in your book. I think it will help you if you do that. For number 2, I'm actually going to skip the addition problem, okay? 112 plus 112 plus 112 is the same as multiplying 112 times 3. We're very clear on the addition part, so I'm not going to take any more time to do that. I want to focus on the multiplication, all right? Once again, we're going to start in the ones place, always starting in the ones place, whether we're multiplying, adding, subtracting, whatever, all right? And we're going to multiply up, so you're kind of going backwards of what you normally do. Now, let me tell you this. If you multiply 2 times 3, you're going to get the same answer, because in multiplication, you can switch the factors and you're always going to get the same product. But you'll see in just a second why I want you to get in the habit of taking this 3 and multiplying it times that 2, which equals 6. Because now you're going to take this 3 and you're going to multiply it times that 1. 3 times 1 equals 3, all right? Then we're going to go over to the hundreds place. 3 times 1 equals 3. Okay? And I know it may seem like I'm going kind of fast, but the more we do it, the more it'll become normal and natural to you. and your parents should be really good on remembering how to do this. And you do not need to draw the arrows every time. I'm just doing that to show you where I want your eyes to go when you're doing this problem, okay? So 112 times 3 equals 336, all right? I'm just going to go right from problem to problem because, as I mentioned, the best way to learn this is just by doing it over and over again, all right? Number 3 you'll see is 11 times 2. Now, boys and girls, 12 times 3 and 11 times 2, you should know. We don't even have to do that problem because we already have those facts memorized. We know that 11 times 2 is, yes, 22, all right? But in order just to practice the process, we're going to go ahead and do it step by step, right? Starting in the ones place, we got a 1 and a 2. Let's multiply 2 times 1 equals 2, okay? I'm not going to draw the arrow this time. We're going to take this 2 now. 2 times 1 again is 2. So 11 times 2 is 22, okay? If you have any questions as we go along, please write it down. We'll go over this during our Google Meet tomorrow on Tuesday. Number 4 is 12 times 1. Again, we know this is 12 times 1 is 12 because that's just an easy peasy multiplication math fact. But we're going to go through the process of 1 times 2 equals 2, and 1 times 1 equals 1. Okay, and you might be thinking, oh, this is easy, and it really is, but of course it will get harder as the numbers get bigger, okay? In fact, this next one, number 5, let's look at number 5. Number 5 is one that we don't necessarily automatically know because we memorize the fact, okay? 30 times 3, okay? Let me move that 5, that's kind of looking like it's part of the problem. All right, 5, all right, 30 times 3. Again, like always, we're going to start in the ones place. 3 times 0 is, yep, you got it, 0. Now we're going to cross multiply. We're going to take that 3 and we're going to multiply it times this 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so 30 times 3 is 90. All right. Move on to the next one. Just going to go right through each one of these problems with you. I just want to go step by step. Number 6, 32 times 4. Okay. Again, which place are we going to start in, boys and girls? You say it out loud at your house. Yep, I heard you. The ones place. 4 times 2 equals 8. Then we're going to move and multiply the 4 times the 3, and 4 times 3 equals 12. And again, you might be wondering why I'm going from the bottom up. You'll see that probably not today, but in tomorrow's video, I'll show you why I want you to get in the habit of multiplying from this 4 up and then the 4 over. At this point, you're not going to get the answer wrong if you multiply down because 2 times 4 is 8 and 3 times 4 is 12. But like I just mentioned, tomorrow you'll see when we go a little step further why it's a good habit to multiply from the bottom number up. All right, so 32 times 4 equals 128. And the last one on that first row there, number 7, 23 times 2. Okay. Okay, 23 times 2, we're going to start in the ones place. 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 2 is 4. 23 times 2 equals 46. All right, and if you're getting ahead of me, that's perfectly fine. That way you can check your answers to see if they match what I'm showing you. All right, we're going to move down to number 8. Number 8 is multiplying by a 3-digit number, okay? The process stays the same, 221 times 4. I hope you're feeling like, wow, this is bigger, harder, older math, because it is, and you're moving along really great. All right, let's start in the ones place like we always do. 4 times 1 is 4, okay? Then we're going to take that 4 and multiply it by the number in the tens place. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay? Then we'll go again and multiply that 4 now times the 2 in the hundreds place. And again, 4 times 2 is 8. So 221 times 4 equals 884. Good job. Big numbers there. Awesome. All right, let's look at number 9. Number 9 is 132 times 2. Okay. All right, we're going to start again in the ones place. 2 times 2 is 4. Now we're going to take that 2 times the number in the tens place. 2 times 3 is 6. And then last but not least, 2 times 1 in the hundreds place is 2. So 132 times 2 equals 264. I so wish we were in the classroom, because by now I'd already have you guys at the board helping me teach each other. But since we're not, we will make the best of it and do it this way. All right, number 10, 312 times 3. Once again, we're going to start in the ones place. 3 times 2 is 6. We're going to multiply the 3 times the 1 in the tens place, and 3 times 1 is 3. Then we're going to multiply the 3 times the 3 in the hundreds place, which is 9. So 312 times 3 is 936. All right? If I'm going too fast, you can pause the video and write what you need to write down, and then push play again. All right? Number 11, moving right along. Number 11, 431 times 2. Okay, again, we'll start in the ones place. 2 times 1 equals 2. We're going to multiply the 2 times the 3 in the tens place. 2 times 3 is 6. Then we'll multiply the 2 times the 4 in the hundreds place. And 2 times 4 is 8. 431 times 2 is 862. You can see by these problems, this is part of the reason why all year we've been talking about how important it is to learn those multiplication facts. Because now, when you're at multiplying several digits, you don't want to have to stop and really have to rack your brain to remember what the factors multiply together to make. You want to kind of have them in your memory already. And you guys are doing awesome on that. All right, number 12, 212 times 2. Again, we'll start in the ones place. You got it. 2 times 2 is 4. We'll multiply now the 2 times the 1 in the hundreds place, tens place, and that is 2, okay? Then we'll finish up with 2 times 2 in the hundreds place, which again is 4. 212 times 2 equals 424. All right, I hope this has been helpful for you, boys and girls. Again, we will have another video tomorrow to get you started and get you through tomorrow's lesson. So if you forget overnight, we'll refresh it tomorrow, but please do practice in the meantime. You can have your parents help you write down some problems. You could do a problem like 153 times 1, okay? 1 times 3 would be 3. 1 times 5 would be 5. 1 times 1 would be 1. So you can make up your own problems and practice. And like I said, we will come back tomorrow with another video and look at our next lesson together. Thanks, boys and girls.